All right, friends, here we are for that TCG Player 50K Max Point Championship. On your left, we have Jim Davis on red-green ramp versus Seth Mansfield on the right, who we just saw last round with his Mardu aggro deck. Turn one, Jotty offshoot for Jim Davis has got to feel good. That's the card you want to see on turn one.
Unfortunately, it doesn't ever die to Crackling Doom. He just never, like that Jotty offshoot's the safest creature in Jim Davis's deck.
It's just going to sit there and gain a lot of life.
We have a turn 2 play from Jim Davis. Could be, looks like someone's scrying. It might be the only card he has.
Hangerback Walker.
Oh, I didn't see the, yeah, 4 Hangerback Walker. So, yep, definitely Hangerback Walker or Sylvan Scrying. Those are his only options here, so.
We see the awesome Wombo combo of Jotty offshoot and Map the Wastes.
Oh, or nothing. Interesting. Just a crack in the pass.
Save some time, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you save time by passing and then cracking
Oh,
on their
sure,
turn, you know?
yeah.
That's wasting time.
Oh.
Oh, wow, that's an amazing hit. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
You can keep your 2 Ulamogs.
Duress from Seth. Kind of crippling Jim Davis here, who has
brutal.
2 10 drops in his hand.
This is my biggest concern about the ramp decks is that, you know, when you play a deck like Seth's, you have a lot of mid-game options. You know, like you have 3 drops, 4 drops. With the ramp decks, you have to have the perfect mix of ramps and things to ramp into, or else you have a bunch of creatures that you need 10 mana to cast and not enough mana, or you have a bunch of mana cards and no creatures to cast. It's this weird middle ground. Whereas there's most other decks in Standard don't really have that problem. You're going to draw spells that you can cast consistently throughout the game.
The nice thing with these ramp decks, though, is that a lot of the decks are slow and dirtily. He has a lot of time, generally, versus the Mardu aggro deck, maybe not so much, but we'll see what Seth can do here. Duressing on turn 2 means that Seth is not going to have another play.
Right, so the pressure's not on, but Jim Davis still has a draw pretty well. Oblivion Sower's pretty good, but he's still 3 turns away from casting that guy.
And that's
he only has
rips,
1 land in hand, yeah. So he's going to need to rip either ramp spells or lands.
Well, conveniently enough, over half of his deck, or half of his deck
Yeah.
is.
So it's almost as if he designed it that way.
All right, Seth's turn 3. Let's see what he's got going on here. Smoldering Marsh was on turn 2 after that Duress. A Swampier, and he's going to Crackling Doom that Jotty offshoot.
Yeah, just get it off the board, I guess. Put you back to 20.
Sure.
Square things evenly.
That's going to be the end of his
Interesting.
turn.
I wonder if that's interesting.
Ooh, Map the Wastes off the top for Jim Davis. This is a good one.
Unfortunately, he does not have a Jotty offshoot to put a counter on.
Sure.
No bolstering for you, good sir. And he still has a land in hand, so next turn he could theoretically play an Oblivion Sower if he hits a land.
Fortunately for Seth, he has actually not used a fetch land yet, though. I mean, maybe unfortunately there's more chances to hit them, but, you know.
Old Oblivion Sower.
We'll have to see. Puts Jim up to 6.
Yeah, like every fetch land is one less chance.
Yep.
For Jim to hit a land. But on the other hand, there are some fetch lands. Maybe in Seth's deck that he might not be able to use.
I don't think that's the case.
I think it's just Wooded Foothills and Bloods. Yeah, both of those he can get a mountain with.
Sure. Oh, actually, the mountain's already in play.
So Jim only has 1. So yeah, they'd be blanks.
Gideon is certainly a problem.
Well, the Wooded Foothills obviously gets forest, but the Bloodstained Mires are rough. What did he draw that was not a land?
I believe it was an Ugin.
Oh boy.
So his hand is 2 Ulamog, Ugin, and Oblivion Sower.
I mean, if Oblivion Sower hits 2 lands, it pumps him to Ugin.
Sure.
That's a thing, but...
Seth's cracking in for 8 or 7 here, though. Or sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Gideon doesn't really mess around. He just kind of does his thing.
Let's see what Seth can follow this up with. A Pia and Kieran Nalar, is a great way to get around Ugin.
Yeah, because you still get the 2 tokens.
Yeah, if Jim can get to that mana.
And he's not going to get to it next turn even. So I mean, Seth has a turn easy, which puts.
Oh no!
Oh good.
An ill-timed offshoot.
Well, it's a blocker.
It gains 5 life. It gains 5 life.
Or it prevents 2. Actually, he would. If Seth has another land, he has to block Gideon, or else he's dead. Because he would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or he would take 7, 8. He would take 8 from blocking a knight or 2/2, and then Seth can just shoot him for the last 4 points.
Heck, even getting an emblem here for Seth is huge. It makes all of the creatures able to eat the Jotty, or the 2/2/2s able to run to the Jotty offshoot.
The 2/2/2s.
2/2/2s.
Yeah, I think Seth's options are pretty good. He just plays a land and forces Jim to block Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
While also taking 6. That's brutal.
Well, Seth might have the win here. 5 manas.
Okay, just kill your guy.
Obnixilis.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is dead on board.
Shoot the offshoot.
Yep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Puts Jim to 2, and that is lethal with a Thopter on board. All Seth has to do is untap, and he's not going to get the chance to do that, unfortunately.
Jim's going to have to scoop him up there. Move to the next game.
That's how world champions roll, apparently.
In the background, you can see Andrew Tenjin versus Josh McClain. See what those players have going on.
I hear Josh McClain is a powerful wizard as well. Oh, wow, this is, well, that's a board.
Oh.
All right.
So it looks like Andrew's definitely missed some land drops.
It looks like Andrew's in real good shape, though. He can probably pull this out. Wait. Nope, I was mistaken. I don't think that's true at all. So what do we have? Josh has 6 lands. Andrew has 3. Ooh, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, active Jace, 4 creatures. Looks like a stasis snare.
On a Jace.
Yep.
That doesn't even get any power off the board.
You can see a silk-wrapped zombie cutthroat at the bottom of the screen there.
We have 1, 2, 3. We only have 5 power on Josh's side, but yeah, it's only 2 swings. It's funny because 3 of them are 1/1s, but it adds up. Plus these Elvish Mystics, Elvish Visionaries are cantripping, which is incredibly useful.
Look like a Nantuko Husk off the top. Oh, jeez. Josh has...
That's my favorite thing about Magic right there, drawing cards.
Josh has a bevy of powerful cards in hand. We see another Planeswalker. Can't tell if that's Jace or Liliana.
It doesn't even matter at this point.
Another Rally the Ancestors. I think I saw a CDC's Faithful, and yeah.
Liliana having like a sack outlet, or just a creature that sacks itself, is so sweet.
We're going to have to go to game 2 on that round as well. Or match, rather.
And Liliana says when a non-token creature dies, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's almost like they designed Liliana knowing that Eldrazi Scions would be in the next set. Who would have thought? And for anyone there at home watching, TCG Player offers gift cards now. So if you guys are looking for the perfect gift for that gamer in the family or your friends, you can head on over to tcgplayer.com, pick up some gift cards. They can be emailed or printed for any occasion. But obviously Christmas is coming up, or the holidays, whatever you guys celebrate, and you can pick up some gift cards.
I'm a gamer friend.
I don't. And also TCG Player Direct offers you free shipping, certified grading, and it's the perfect delivery option to get all of your orders in one convenient package. So if you guys are ordering from 3, 4 different sellers, if they're all TCG Player Direct sellers, you will get them in one package verified by TCG Player themselves.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, it's a great deal. So it's like it alleviates some of the worry of ordering from all these different sellers, getting like 4 different packages. Instead, you just get one package from us, and it gets there a lot faster and super easy.
I'll get a decent chance at seeing what these players sideboard potentially here. I see a Radiant Flames from Jim Davis, some Jotty offshoots. I wonder if he's...
Jotty offshoot just not as good anymore.
I think it's still very good.
Really?
Versus an aggressive field like this, yeah.
It just feels like it's not pulling it feels like you're not pulling your weight, Plant Man.
I mean, it ate a Crackling Doom. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it wouldn't have if Seth just waited and let him cast any other creature.
Sure, but I mean, an early offshoot can represent a lot of life in this type of deck, and that's Jim. That's the only thing Jim wants, just some extra time.
Early offshoot was the name of my ska band.
I can see it didn't take off very far.
Listen, buddy, we're still getting our sound down. That's all. I don't need your judgment.
No judgment, just love, man. Just love.
Just love.
Offshoot blocks a Unprowess Seeker of the Way. It blocks P and Kieran Nalaar.
Would you ever block with would you ever block a Seeker of the Way? It's so scary.
You never want to. I mean, you probably take a few hits first and then be like, ah, fine.
All right, I'm at the point where like I can't afford to not, and I just hope you don't have it.
Broken Sleeves.
Man, those are the worst. Especially if you don't have extras. You got to dig into the sideboard.
Yep.
And then judge was like, why do you have an unsleeved card in your box? And you're like, oh, I swear it's part of my deck. It's real awkward. And the police are there. Your mom's
Some of these things are true. Some of these are not so true.
But it's up to you to determine which.
Yes. True.
That was indeed true. Correct.
All right. Looks like players have decided what they wanted to sideboard in and out.
I'm very surprised Jim isn't on some sort of Esper list this weekend. It seems like that would definitely be something he would be, like, you know, especially with the popularity of Esper has been seeing recently. Jim loves his control decks, and to see him on red-green ramp is just kind of surprising.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it is kind of like a grindier deck still. It's not.
It is actually. Yeah, all the action takes place in the late game.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, I have 10 mana. This is the perfect amount I want to have when I play my win condition. So.
Seth has some nice reach though. Is the thing. You know, he's got that burn.
And also, like, whenever your deck can just nonchalantly have a versatile answer to a 12-12 or whatever Ulamog is.
10-10. Yeah.
It's just very good. Is it only a 10-10?
Only a 10-10. Mills 20. Yeah.
That's it?
The other one was a 12-12.
What's
sorry. The Kozilek was a 12-12.
What's the new Kozilek? Is he 12-12 again?
Well, that hasn't been confirmed or denied.
Is the speculated yeah, he's a 10-10. Man, dang it. Dang it, Kenji.
Yes, Kenji. Yes. All right, let's see if the players keep their hands.
I hope they do. Mulliganing is the worst part of Magic.
I see a Tarka, Radiant Flame, some lands, Ugin, Explosive Vegetation, maybe a Hedron Archive from Jim's hand.
Hedron Archive's a little scary when Kolaghan's command is seeing a resurgence. Seth has 2 in his deck, so we can't tell if he has more because it looks like his sideboard is only 4 cards from the printout we have.
A little bit cut off. I assume Jim's on the play. He's gonna actually mulligan this hand.
Jim didn't like it. He said, "No, sir, I don't want these cards."
Yeah.
Seth also mulliganing. So, you know, they're actually putting a little parity into the match.
Well, the thing about Jim's deck, he doesn't actually have that many red sources. In fact, he only has 1 mountain in the deck, but he has multiple sources to go find that mountain. He has 3 Map the Waste, 2 Sylvan Scrying, 4 Foothills. But yeah, only 1 mountain. Actually, if Jim Davis's mountain gets exiled somehow or milled, or I don't even know, that's his only red source.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Well, I guess he has Haven of the Spirit Dragon to cast those Atarkas.
That's it though.
Should that matter?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's rough if you're boarding in a bunch of red cards and that's your only red source though. Your only legit red source.
Mm-hmm.
1 mountain. Well, not even like a Cinderglade. That's
No.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm casting Ugins and Ulamogs and Oblivion Sowers. I don't need no mountain.
That's bold.
I don't need no mountain.
It's bold.
All right, we're gonna go over to the secondary feature match.
The interesting part is that the deck doesn't need that much green. You know, you need like 2 green at most for any of the cards in your deck.
Sure.
So I don't know why you're not a little more liberal with the red sources.
Yeah, you always need the green though is the thing. All right, Andrew Tenjum starting with a Plains and a Swamp. Josh on Island and Windswept Heath. Going to probably find a forest, I would imagine, but the deck does need double white. The 4-color Rally is a very greedy deck. Its mana base is
Yes, correct. Although Josh did not seem to have any problems last game.
very spread. Well, we'll see what we have here.
Old visionary.
Draws a 3rd Heath. He has a 2nd one already in his hand.
Which is nice, but because all of the lands he gets are going to come and play on tap, whether they're Canopy Vistas or what else could he even get with a Heath? Prairie Stream, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Andrew just with a 3rd land and pass. I thought he was on the tokens list. Isn't his a little bit more aggressive?
We saw it. He has Eldrazi Sky Spawner, Hangerback Walker, Gideon's, Obnixilis, Sorin. Actually, he doesn't have that many early plays. It only looks like Eldrazi Sky Spawner and Hangerback Walker.
So he's probably just holding up Stasis Snare.
So we're gonna swing back over to the main match with Jim Davis and Seth Manfield. See if Seth can do the clean sweep.
Looks like Seth is scrying here, opting to put on bottom. Alrighty. Jim Davis throwing down the
land Jotty off.
Yeah, all in one throw. It's like bam. Canopy Vista there for Seth Manfield. Ooh, and I think Shrine of the Forsaken Gods is Jim Davis's only land left in hand.
That's no good.
He does have a Hangerback Walker. We just start doing things, though. Let's see if Seth can produce anything on the battlefield here. All right, Seeker. Nope, Hangerback Walker of his own.
I will meet your Hangerback Walker. Hangerback Walker's a fine dude. I mean, it gives you something to do with some of your mana at least, but I think Jim would much prefer to have another land.
Wow.
He did draw a shrine.
Important
though, so.
land, yeah.
Yeah, that was like exactly what he needed there. Now he can go Nissa's Pilgrimage into Explosive Vegetation.
And actually, that's going to almost give him enough mana.
It's pretty close.
With the double shrine, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's rough. Nice Pilgrimage. Boop.
Yeah, all he needs to do is draw one land at this point to be able to cast Ulamog because, you know, the Pilgrimage gets 2.
Yeah.
The Vegetation gets 2. Both of the shrines are going to produce 2, and he already has 1.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana that he's making. So he only needs 8 lands in play, and next turn he's going to go to 5 naturally and add a 6th. No, he's going to go to 6 naturally.
He's going to go to 7.
Or he's going to go to 6 with, yeah, he goes to 5 naturally, then adds 2 from the Explosive Vegetation. So that is 7, and then he plays 1 more land.
And then the Big Daddy.
And then Big Daddy Ulamog comes down.
We'll see if Seth can
So that's a 5th turn Ulamog.
do anything about this. Seth has infinite obliteration in his sideboard.
That's pretty brutal.
If he's able to
He doesn't
name
have a single black though, let alone 2 though.
True.
He can get a Smoldering Marsh here, but
Uh-oh.
I mean, this has to be the matchup you play Infinite Obliteration
is,
comes in against, right? He does have a Forest in hand.
Yeah, we saw Jim drew another land for the turn, which means Ulamog can potentially come down next turn.
I don't see it not doing that unless Seth can go crack for Smoldering Marsh, play a black, you know, kill it. Or, you know, infinite Obliteration and steal it.
That would be pretty sweet. I am not going to lie. It feels terrible in the ramp deck whenever you're...
Yeah, because that's literally one of your main win conditions.
And he's running 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we'll see if Seth can pull it off.
I feel like that's a little bit of a tall order for Seth to have to do.
All right. Counter goes on the Hangerback Walker.
In response, pump my Hangerback
Sure.
Walker. All right, let's see. Come on, Seth. Smoldering Marsh. Land, Infinite Obliteration. Oh, well, we're 1/3 of the way there.
Step 1.
33% complete. What if he has one of the other pieces and he top decks the other one? That'd be sweet too, right?
Step 1, you put your Smoldering Marsh on the battlefield.
Step 2.
You play another swamp.
Oh man, nice. See what you did there.
All right, let's see.
We can't see.
Oh,
He holds his cards real close to his chest.
very secretive.
Oh, he's cracking a Bloodstained Mark.
Dun,
my
dun.
God.
Oh, come on.
That's a
Swamp.
swamp. Oh, it's getting real
Swamp hits the
exciting.
battlefield, ladies and gentlemen. Does
oh my
Seth
God. Is this
have
happening?
the infinite obliteration?
Will the Obliteration be infinite at this point? Come on, buddy. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so.
Oh,
yes!
so
That's
good.
So brutal.
What did he name? Well, let's see if he names
He's
Ulamog.
100% naming. That's the only.
Oh,
that
brutal.
Was so brutal.
Brutal.
That's exactly how we played it out. Goes get Smoldering Marsh.
Wow.
Plays a swamp. Infinite Obliteration.
And remember,
oh, man,
4 of them
that
in
was
Jim's deck.
Fantastic.
Ay, ay, ay.
And Jim's like, well, I had a plan. And you know what the best part is? He can still pump his Hangerback
I know,
Walker.
I know. Now I feel bad for Jim. Now
I
I want Jim to draw a Tarka or something.
Oh man. Oh, Seth Manfield with the 2 Infinite Obliterations, and he hits one on the perfect turn.
Seth's just getting some extra info here, looking through Jim's deck, seeing what he
That's
has
how
left.
you world champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Counting the Ugins, counting the Atarkas, counting the the Oblivion Sowers.
Yeah, I mean, you just literally get to see his. This is basically like you get to look at his deck list.
Okay, so if I'm looking at Jim's sideboard, he also has a ton of other win conditions. Desolation Twin, Void Winnower, Gaia's Revenge, another Atarka, 2 Whisperwood Elementals. It's not like he's out of this.
That's actually interesting if you brought those in preparation for Infinite Obliteration.
Yeah.
So then when they name it, Ulamog, you only hit 1.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of other like 10 and 9 drops to play. That's sweet. That's a good idea. I don't know if that's what happened to this round, but
well, we know Jim is living off the top at this point because he has a force in his hand.
Top.
All right. And just a pass of the turn from Seth. Let's see what Jim can rip. Ugin is not a bad one, ladies and gentlemen.
This is just haymaker after haymaker.
Certainly one of the cards that he needed and wanted to draw. Doesn't necessarily deal with Hangerback Walker very well, but it can shoot the Hangerback Walker while it's only on 2 and then potential 3. I think that might even be the, well, maybe he doesn't pump it or shoot the Hangerback. Maybe just shoot Seth. That is a very feasible line, and just goes for the ultimate. Whammy after whammy, ladies and gentlemen. All right, he is in fact going up. No use going and removing counters from Ugin here. He's going to shoot Seth's face. 15 to 27. Yeah, Seth has a huge uphill battle at this point. In fact, this is one of those times where I think Seth might be shooting his own Hangerback Walker.
This is just such a crazy sequence of events where like we think Infinite Obliteration is the biggest blowout ever, and then Jim Davis top decks in Ugin. Like,
to be fair, it was.
That's crazy.
We'll see what Seth can pull out here, but hey, four tokens from the Hangerback Walker.
It's nothing to sneeze at.
You know, they don't get removed by Ugin either.
Man, Ugin goes up to 10 next turn. Oh god.
11 next turn.
11. That's so. Yeah. What's it cost to ultimate that guy?
10.
Okay. Well, that's pretty depressing.
We'll see what Seth can pull out of his hat.
What if he just has Utter End? Wouldn't that be sweet? Just Utter Ends Ugin.
He does have access to 1 Utter End in his main deck. I don't know. Again, we're missing some of his sideboard, so we can't exactly tell.
It's in his hand actually.
Oh
boy. Oh man, and the hits don't stop, son. This is a sick match.
Again, every turn Seth's been able to activate his Hangerback Walker, just slowly up.
Yeah, and like he's 1 ahead on Jim, which is great because that's what you want.
Yep. Jim can't attack with his. Seth would simply block and pump his own.
Or you just block and make them both trade.
Sure.
Because you don't want to give Jim like 3 flying attackers, you know. Especially when Jim's at 27 life, he wins that race.
Yes. All right, Jim, what did you draw?
Was it as good as the top decked Ugin you just had? Oh, well.
That's not
It'll
awful.
be good in the future.
That's not awful.
But being at 28 life gives him a lot of breathing room.
Sure. You have to remember, Hangerback Walker, if cast for, you know, X is 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Does activate the Sanctum.
He has 11 mana, Jim Davis does. So if he hits another land, he can actually make a 6/6 Hangerback Walker, which is not a bad thing. Plus, yeah, it would trigger the Sanctum of Ugin as well.
All right, Seth untaps, potentially access to 6 mana.
28 to 14. Oh,
Obnixilis? Is it an Obnixilis?
5 mana tap.
It's not a Wingmate Rock.
It is
an
indeed
Obnixilis.
the Reignited.
Man, these predictions. We got the Infinite Obliteration, the Utter End, and the Obnixilis predictions.
Score 1 for the commentators.
I feel like we're doing well here.
So it looks like Seth chose to draw a card, upticked the Obnixilis. Does he have a land to play?
Oh, just attack here. That's an interesting choice. He's like, no, I don't think that's a good choice.
Well, if he doesn't have a land to play, then attacking with the Hangerback makes sense.
Really? But then you just want Ob to take 4? Go to 2?
You need to start damaging Jim at some point before he can start drawing all of his other huge threats, you know?
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
What's it going to be, Jim Davis?
Well, it's not an Ulamog, that's for sure. We can rule out what it's not.
Correct. I want to see a Desolation Twin or a Void Winnower.
That would be sick.
I'm just noticing, by the way, Jim Davis has 2 Hollowed Moonlight in his sideboard off of a Plains, 1 Plains in the deck.
That's interesting.
He doesn't have any way to fetch the Plains except for Sylvan Scrying and Map the Wastes. No land sources to be able to fetch, that is to say. Interesting. So he ripped a Oblivion Sower off the top, which unfortunately for him doesn't trigger the Sanctum of Ugin.
Yeah, it's real close though.
Hangerback Walker's going to get in. Hit Obnixilis down to 2 loyalty counters. And let's see what Seth can do on his turn. He knows that Jim has no cards in his hand, so no fear of anything tricky at this moment. Seth's going to uptick Obnixilis, draw a card, pay a life.
Is it pay a life or is it lose a life?
It's lose a life, but you know, pay the loss.
I guess you're paying the Obnixilis. That's the cost of dealing with the demon, I guess.
Yes. A resparked Planeswalker, as it were. Crackling Doom.
Oh.
So
Yeah, that'll do it. Wow. Wow. It's perfect that Jim attacked with Hanger. I wonder if that was planned by Seth. Because attacking with his Hangerback would force Jim to attack with his Hangerback, turning off the ability to make it a 5.
sure. I mean, Jim Davis is living off the top of his library, though. It's
right, but it prevents him from sacking
Sure, yeah, yeah.
Hangerback Walker instead of Oblivion Sower.
We'll see if Jim can rip something else off the top this time. He's done pretty well so far. It was Ugin into Sanctum, or no, Ugin into Hangerback into Sanctum.
Well, Sanctum might not even be that great anymore if he didn't board in the other creatures, because then he only has... I don't think he has anything else that would trigger it.
Well, we'll have to see.
I guess just Hangerback Walker, but then what do you search for?
He has another Sower.
But isn't it cost 7 or more, or is it just any colorless creature? You can
Any
get?
colorless creature.
Okay,
But-
so
but
if
you just have to,
if
cast
he
a
casts
7 or more.
Hangerback Walker, he can get the second Oblivion Sower, is basically what's going to have to happen. But yeah.
Hopefully, Desolation Twin or Void Winnower are in the deck.
Yeah, once the Ullamogs are gone, like it's pretty rough to try to get a great advantage off of Sanctum of Ugins, especially if you're trying to chain them together even.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. If you're Seth, do you pump here, or do you just let them trade and make 4/4/4s each?
I don't actually know.
I don't either. Having 4 power on board, that's a 3-turn clock for Seth. Well, for Jim, against Seth. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Seth has an answer. Maybe he has Boiling Earth in his sideboard. What?
I would bow down to you if that were the case.
Yeah, Jim seemed happy to get 3 tokens there, or 4 tokens there. That's a 3-turn clock for Seth, and Jim's at a healthy 22 life. Plus, if Seth wants to be activating Obnixilis, like, it's even worse.
I think it's pretty clear Seth has some way to interact with the Thopters if he's just allowing that to
I would
happen,
imagine.
yeah.
That's my guess as well. I mean, also his Cold Guns command do kill 2 each.
Another Sanctum of Ugin.
He can also attack with Channeling Vent as well, and just gain 2 each turn, which is much good.
Much good, such wow.
Very life. So that's just like, I'm going to keep drawing cards, man. I don't even care.
Obnixilis has done a ton of work this game.
He's drawn a lot of cards. Obnixilis is basically telling some painful truths this game. If you get what I'm saying.
B. Solid B.
Okay.
Solid. Very solid B.
No, I'll put a counter on this. No, just kidding. That's an attack. Just playing. Seems like I'll take it. I will not disrupt my 4-turn clock, 3-turn clock. Whatever turn clock. You know what's going on.
Place was like 500K.
Jim was like a healthy 18.
Shoddy offshoot still
Still hanging back.
still hanging there.
Off shooting things.
Gaining some life. The usual.
Seth has a million mana too.
I mean, it's a lot like
What is it, 7 lands? That's a lot.
As long as you have that, like
He's one away from casting his own Ugin. Also, if he has a Wingmate Rock, that's actually very good for Seth.
2 in the main deck. Yep. 3 Gideons, which we haven't seen yet. I'm assuming he took out the Silk. Actually, Silk Wrap hits Hanger back. That's probably
Are
incorrect.
you ready? Here we go.
5 mana and an attack.
Is it a cold shot? It was a cold shot again. Look at that Wingmate Rock.
It's got a friend. It's got a friend.
They always do.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be a problem for rather Jim. So, an Ugin here from Jim would be huge. Uh-oh.
You mean Eugene? All right, that's 4 mana.
That was like a C.
Did he top deck an Ugin? Oh, that's actually still
That's not
pretty good.
awful.
Well, let's see what we hit. He's 2 mana away from playing an Ugin if he draws it, though.
A Tarka wouldn't be a bad draw. I saw
Looks like
Forest.
It was a Forest and a Haven of the Spirit Dragon.
Okay. Is there... Oh, remember, the Ugin got exiled from Utter End earlier in the game, so...
Yeah, so that's not even an option to get back. Jim, I think it might be time to say our goodnights.
He's still got time.
He definitely has time. It just... I mean, to be fair, Jim could put all 4 on 1 Wingmate Rock when he attacks. That'll kill one. Not efficiently, though.
No, not very efficiently at all.
There's the Haven.
Up to 19 from the offshoot trigger.
I like that Jim has an ability that gains him a life each turn, and Seth has an ability that loses him a life each turn.
One seems a little bit better than the other.
You're right. I love gaining life. That's not what we were talking about, was it?
No, it was. No. It was,
Wait, for real?
yeah.
Really?
No.
Okay. You just let it go on for too long. That was all.
Well, if we count, like, he played the offshoot on turn 1, and he has 11 lands on the battle. That's 10 life he's gained.
That's a lot. That's not a non-significant amount.
Yeah.
Well, also, Seth now gains 3 life. Seth also has a life gain engine now.
Sure.
If Seth has like a Kolagon's command, if Jim was like, well, I'll block 4 on the Wingmate Rock, he didn't obviously, but if and then Seth has Kolagon's command, that'd be kind of a blowout.
Yeah, make him discard his last card and kill one of the Thopters.
Even Crackling Doom is brutal against the Thopter token.
Yeah.
When you have a 3/4 against their 4/1/1s.
We'll see what Jim opts to do here. He might just throw one in front of the hanger back.
This is not... I mean, Jim still has time, but even if he gets an Ugin, like, he doesn't exile the hanger back walker?
No, but he has enough tokens right now.
I guess that's true. Well, not anymore.
All right, well. With double Sanctum of Ugin, it doesn't take much for Jim to get back into this game, I think. Now, obviously, the Ulamogs are gone, but there are still some potentially nice hits here for Jim.
He does have 3 more... Yeah, he still has 3 more Ugins in the deck. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Crackling Doom? Oh.
Kolagons looks like going to kill one of the Thopters and make Jim
Maybe
discard.
Yep.
Another Shambling Vent for Seth.
So he did have the Kolagon's command. So if a quad block was in his future, it was going to work out quite poorly for Jim Davis.
Yeah, that quad block would turn into a quad rock.
Quad Wingmate Rock, that is. Rockin' and roll. Nah, that's terrible.
Applaud your efforts.
There's no winners here. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so Ugin would be insane here for Jim.
It's even better than but like Seth gets 2 Thopters now too. So you'd have a 5/5 and 2 1/1s.
Yeah, but it takes care of the Wingmate, it takes care of the Opnixilis, it takes care of the P and Kirin.
Then he just swings back and kills it.
Sure, but
It does take care of. Yeah, it does take care of a lot. Like it, it kills a lot of things. Let's be fair, but it doesn't leave Seth powerless by any means. Plus, he has 2 Shambling Vents in play that he can activate both.
yeah.
So I mean, Jim would have 1 Thopter token, and Seth could crack back for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think. Oh, that is a swamp, right? Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, he has Swamp and Smoldering Marsh.
Yep.
So he definitely has 2 ways to activate.
Did you draw something, Jim Davis?
Or are you just slow rolling us?
It's like Magic Online. When you have enough permanents, it goes into 2 rows.
Yeah, you get the double row.
Yeah, the double rainbow.
And then people are like, did he play March of the Machines or something? Are all his lands animated now? No, there's just not enough land. There's not enough room.
right, he's doing something. I like it. Yes.
Oh, this is just a big hangerback walker?
And he's gonna
It's got to be a huge hangerback walker.
Yeah, it looks like it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he's going to just do hangerback walker for 6.
Sure.
And he gets to keep one up.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep. Trigger, trigger.
Yeah, pop Sanctum. Do you pop both? Yeah, you got to pop both. That's crazy not to. 2 Sanctums. Let's go searching. So now we get to see if he does have like the endless, or the Desolation Twin.
And Void Winnower. Oh, and Seth's like, you know, I got it in hand. Yeah. Seth is just showing Jim right now that, you know, I can kill your Thopter with my Obnixilis, hidden for 3, 6, 7, 8.
And then double Crackling Doom you.
Is that lethal?
He's going to kill the Thopter, so he has no blockers. So Seth would deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. So Seth, Jim would go to 8. Double Crackling Doom. I don't know. I don't know how that's lethal. I'm not sure what he was showing him there.
Maybe Seth jumped the gun a teeny bit, but again, the creatures that that Jim gets do not do enough.
Maybe Seth was like double Crackling Doom, and then I can sack 2 tokens to Pia and Kieran Nalar, and he's like, well, you're not going to have enough mana to do all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on there. Also, being able to sacrifice Hangerback Walker to P and Kieran Nalar and make 5 1/1s is pretty brutal.
That's not too shabby.
I can think of worse things to be done.
All right, so Hangerback Walker and Oblivion Sower.
Seems fine.
Don't do anything, but they're fine.
I mean, they're good creatures in their own right.
True.
I'm not sure if they're going to make the difference in this particular situation, though.
And Seth untapping very quickly.
Well, let's see what he's thinking. Let's see. Maybe he has a Gideon?
Oh, Gideon Emblem?
Gideon would make a huge difference, but...
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But still not lethal.
Not this turn, but it's basically lethal on board because he has double Crackling Doom in hand as he has shown for some reason. Seth also gains 4 life if he attacks with all the flyers, which is pretty good.
I don't think Seth wants to use Crackling Doom before
before attacking. No, not at all. Oh, is this a Gideon? It is a Gideon.
Snap up that emblem.
Yeah, that's real good. Yeah, you just kill the Thopter, you get in there for 12?
Yep. 4, 8, 12. Gain 4 in the process as well.
Yep, that's pretty good. And actually, is there a way to get through and deal... If there's a way to kill the Jotty offshoot, it might just be game. Oh, the Hangerback Walker is so good against the Crackling Doom, though.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you just alpha here. Like you just not alpha, but just attack with all
the flyers.
and
Yeah.
Just let Jim take his turn and then pass. Like if you end of turn shoot him with P and Kieran Nalar, and then just untap and play Crackling Doom, there's not really anything Jim can do. He can gain life from Jotty off.
Another Gideon Emblem. That's exactly 16, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
5, 10, 3, 3. That's 16. Jim extends the hand.
Wow.
Seth.
I was like
Smirk on his face. He knows.
So that's pretty good at this game.
He knows.
I'm a fan of Seth Manfield.
Oh, it was that infinite obliteration turn. Jeez.
I think that's where the momentum picked up, and I think